Mm. Hey there, welcome to Women Blazing Trails. My name is Eva. Thank you for being here. Today we are going to talk about something a little bit serious. I actually just wrote a blog post about this week, so I will drop the link down to that below. Um, a lot of us are at that stage and age in our lives where we have taken on the responsibility of being caregivers for our parents, right? And this can be a little challenging and a little tough for some of us. So we're going to talk about that today. I'm going to share my experience with you briefly, and then I'm going to share some tips with you for being a caregiver. And I hope these tips, I hope you get a lot out of these tips, and I hope that you enjoy this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, all that good stuff, because that just helps my channel get seen and recognized by YouTube. So my parents are both dead. And when my mom, it started with my mom, and she was in her, oh gosh, this is over 20 years ago now. No, yeah, so long ago, I can't even remember. She started showing signs of dementia and Alzheimer's, and her and my dad were still living at their house, and she started showing some serious signs, like really rapidly. It wasn't just like, every now and again she would leave the stove on. It was like a bunch of things all like bang, bang, bang. And we was like, oh my God, like she's got dementia. So it got to the point where and my dad was pretty useless. I don't, in this video, I'm not going to have anything good to say about my father. So maybe that might be a trigger warning. I don't know. Maybe I should have said that first, but I hated my father, and I don't have anything good to say about him. And he plays a little bit of a role in this as well. So when she started going downhill, my father was pretty useless and didn't help her or anything. He relied on me and my other sister to take care of your mother, because he wouldn't do anything for her. He was just useless. So we went and we would, help her get dressed, help cook the meals. My father's quite capable of cooking. He just never did. Me and my sister would do all that. Then we called in a PSW, a personal support worker, to come in a couple of times a week to help shower, groom her, and all that kind of stuff, cut her nails and do things like that with her. And then she started having seizures, and then she eventually just ended up in the hospital. And then in long-term care, where she was there for like over 15 years, and she died in 2019. So when my mom went into the nursing home, when she left the home, then my dad suddenly he needed care, because he just, I don't even know. He just couldn't take care of himself anymore for some reason. I'm not sure. But then he also started dementia as well. So me and my sister had to go and take care of him. So, I mean, it was constant. It was from my mom to my dad, and it was about 5 years of that. And then he finally went into the nursing home, and then he finally died too. So for me, I can't really talk too much about having to care for my father. Maybe I should. It was very, very, it was really hard for me because I didn't like my father and I had to go. It was only me and my sister, and we took turns going there, feeding him dinner, because we both had jobs. We took turns going there and feeding him dinner, making him breakfast, doing his laundry, cleaning the house. I mean, it was just me and her doing all of that, and taking care of him. It was emotionally exhausting for me because I didn't like my father. I didn't want to spend any time with him. I didn't want to cook his dinner. I could care less if he fucking starved to death. But it was my job, because I told my sister that I would help her. So I did. So I sucked it up. I swallowed my pride or whatever, and I went and I helped him, and I didn't want to. I didn't enjoy it. But I think my saving grace there was that because he was like in his 80s. So, for honest to God, and this may sound horrible, I'm being honest with you, and maybe some of you might be struggling with this too. So maybe me being vulnerable might help you. The one saving grace and the one thought that I had that kept me going and helped me get through this was that, you know what, Eva, he's going to die soon. This isn't going to last forever. He's already, like, he was 85 or 87 or 6 or something. It's like, Eva, he's going to die soon. Just do what you got to do. He's going to die soon. It's going to be over soon. And that was my saving grace. That was my saving thought that got me through that horrible ordeal of having to care for my father, because I really, really, really disliked doing that. With my mom was a little bit different. I had a really pretty crazy upbringing, but as I got older, my mom became a really good mom and a really good friend for me. So it was hard for me to watch my mom decline because she had dementia and Alzheimer's. So when we were taking care of her, um, you know, it was about being patient, because I'm now seeing my parents as I've never seen them before. I've never seen my mom with dementia and Alzheimer's. I don't know who this person is. This isn't my mother. I don't know who this lady is. So I had to be really patient. And I'm not, honest confessions, I am not a really patient person to begin with. So I learned how to be really patient with my mom while she was going through that, and still at the house until she eventually went off to the nursing home. And with my dad, I had to learn to be really patient, and I had to really learn compassion and patience and kindness. And I needed to learn to be gentle and to be loving and understanding. And I pulled it off. I managed to do it. I don't know how, but I managed to do it. And then he eventually went to the nursing home and died. But I think the key points in being a caregiver is very, very exhausting, not just because you're back and forth and you're running around. It's emotionally exhausting as well. So I think it's really, really important that you remember to take care of yourself. Yes, you need to take care of your parents or your mom or your dad, or whatever, but you really, really, really need to take care of yourself too. So I don't know how much time you need to devote to caregiving, but at least try to take at least 30 minutes at the very least every day, just for you. If you can take more, kudos, man, but just take 30 minutes of your day every day and just spend some time just with you, with your thoughts. Go take yourself for a nice little walk. Go do something loving and gentle and kind for your and compassionate for yourself. You need to take care of yourself, or you're going to lose your shit and you're going to fucking snap. I swear to God, that's what's going to happen. So really honor yourself and take care of yourself. Also to avoid burnout as well. That was tip number one. Actually, tip number two is you have to be patient. Eva's not the most patient person in the world. I mean, I am now, but I wasn't then. So you have to be patient. You have to remember, and I think this is really, really important. I think a lot of people forget this, that so our parents raised us and took care of us and watched over us our entire lives, and now they need care, and they've never been in this position where they as an adult needed somebody to care for them, and they know that the end of their life is coming near. So they're scared, they're terrified, they're sad, they're probably depressed. So they're feeling all these really, really deep emotions, like the fear of dying for our parents, um, or our elderly people. They know they're going to die soon. Like if they're in their 80s or 90s, like that they're on the doorstep anyway. So it's very scary for them. And it's also very scary for them that they need somebody that has to take care of them now. So you have to understand and appreciate they're going through all these emotions that are terrifying, and that just leave them um, sad. And I can't even think of a stronger word to use, but they're sad, they're lonely, they're scared, they're full of anxiety, probably. They're probably depressed. So you need to be really patient with them, because they're probably going to spew and say things that they don't really mean, but it's just their fear and anxiety, um, and their sadness talking. So just be really, really patient. Um, the third thing I want to mention is delegate tasks, right? Like you aren't a superwoman, like you don't have to do everything yourself. There are volunteers in every city, every country, everything. There are volunteers that'll come in and maybe just sit and play a game of cards, or sit and keep your mother or your father company. So delegate tasks, like reach out to different societies for elderly people and see if they have volunteers that can come in or help you a little bit if you can't afford a personal support worker. But if you have family members, maybe your parents' friends, like call people and ask them to help because people do love to help. And everybody's, nobody wants to, "Oh, I don't want to bother anybody. They have problems of their own." Even an hour a week is going to be a huge blessing. So don't be afraid to delegate tasks and don't be afraid to pick up the phone and call people and ask people, "Do you mind if you can just come over? Like, could you just come sit with her for 30 minutes?" And you'll be surprised. People will say, "You know what? I'll be more than happy to do that." Or maybe some kids are on the block that know your mom or dad. Ask them to come and sit with them for a little while. You don't have to do everything yourself. That is super, super important. Delegate tasks. The fourth thing is to find things for them to do. So did they used to like listening to music or singing or playing cards or whatever? Like get them involved in those things. Like play cards again if they can, or color, get coloring books, like adult coloring books or whatever, puzzles. Maybe if they like singing or dancing, put some music on, take them and put them in a car and take them for a road trip and go get ice cream or something. Like there's so many things, if they're not bedridden, of course, but there's so many things that they can do. Find things for them to do that bring them joy, even twice a week. It doesn't have to be every day, but even twice a week, find little things for them to do that'll bring them a little bit of joy and take the mind off of the fact that they are feeling sad and feeling depressed and feeling scared. So just find things. And the last tip that I want to share with you is to spend quality time with them. Like as a caregiver, you got to go in and you have to cook and you have to clean and you have to but do fun things too. Like don't just do chores. Like just go and sit and watch a comedy or watch a love show or something. Or sit and talk or sit and play cards with them or whatever the case may be. But spend some quality time with them because they're on their last years and we don't know when they're going to die. So take some time to just be compassionate and just sit and talk about old times and laugh about some memories and things like that. So being a caregiver is exhausting. It's very rewarding. I mean, it really is, but it is exhausting mentally, physically, emotionally, not just for you but for your parents as well. So definitely pat yourself on the back, but definitely take time for yourself. Spend some time alone, but doing things that you love to do. So yeah, I hope that helped you a little bit. I hope these are the tips that I learned from when I was caregiver for both of my parents. It is an exhausting time. It is temporary. I mean, I hate to say this, but it is temporary. You know that it is going to come to an end. And you can look back and go, you know what, I was able to spend all that quality time with my parents before they died, or my mom or my dad or whatever. So I hope you liked this video. I hope these tips helped you. Please share it with anybody that might be stepping into the caregiver role or is a caregiver right now and needs a little bit of inspiration or encouragement. That's all I got for you guys. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. I'm going to drop some links down below too. Please check out the links. I have an awesome midlife makeover course. I'd love for you to check it out. I check out my self-improvement e-store as well. I'll drop some links down below and I'll catch y'all back here on the next video.